Oh, hello there. I was wondering when you would stop by, my dear. We've been waiting for you. Welcome to the Weeping Wikiup. You're just in time for a story. So, stay for a spell, won't you? But I must warn you, my ways of storytelling are unlike anything these parts have ever seen. Here, take a seat. Put your mind to ease. Focus only on my words now. This book is very special. See? Blank, you say? Oh no. You must be truly special if the book wishes to call to you and manifest such stories. Let's begin, shall we? Well, it seems the book wants to start with an author whom is awfully close to you. Now, this story is called Long Man Long, written by W.W. The events in these stories are all a true experience. Call it a nightmare, call it sleep paralysis, call it the hallucinations of an insomniac, or call it something more. Whatever you choose to name it, know that this was a terrifying reality. January 30th, 2019. I sleep on my side, with my covers lightly tucked under one arm and draped across the other, slightly stretched out arm. I feel like my eyes are shut, but I can see in front of me, as well as being able to see slightly down my body in the gap created by my arm and blanket. From the gap, I see the face of a man sliding up towards me, as if he were sliding from the foot of the bed under the covers. He was on his side too. But he did not slip up to meet me face to face. He stopped even with my chest. He was turned so I could view his face in the gap of the covers. I could not move. He was an Asian male with widely opened eyes. Nothing dramatic or strange, just he looked as if he was slightly bucking his eyes. He had short, dark cropped spiked hair. This is all I could see of him. I don't feel scared during this, just having a feeling of, what the fuck? Okay. Weird dream. He then began to repeat the word long over and over, in the same tone, with the same cadence, and the same pitch. His voice is not deep, and he draws out the L in the word, putting emphasis on the hard G and attaching an ah sound to the end. Longa. The tone is soft and empty sounding, like it's been repeated so much it has lost its meaning. It sounds mechanical, as if recorded and played back on a loop. His expression is not malicious or scary. He looked to be quite calm. So in short, the voice did not seem to match the look. During his repetition of the word, he says it about 3 times, is when I start to feel unnerved and frightened. I don't move, and I don't feel him, even though he is so very close to me. As his face is still resting on my chest, we are still on our sides. For some reason, I feel I need to give a response to him, in using only one word. And though my mouth didn't move, the conversation went like this. Him.
Long.
My first response is a question. Road?
Long.
Time?
Long.
Drive? As I become more and more nervous, I think that if I can make the dream less tense, I could wake up. So, pulling a joke from somewhere I heard a few years prior, I give my smartass remark.
Long.
I won't repeat what inappropriate joke I said here.
Long.
To say whatever this thing was not pleased or entertained would be an understatement. His repetition stopped, and his face fell into a flat, heavy-lidded stare. I felt myself being pulled under the covers like someone had pulled me by my feet. You know that feeling of disorientation when someone throws you on the bed or when you're being tossed into a pool? How everything around you blurs and you can't tell which direction is up. That's how it felt. Like I was being pulled and now falling down within the bed. As if the mattress itself had a large divot carved into it. Like the bed had a hidden extra 4 feet of space beneath. This all happens in only seconds. I then felt myself being pushed back up into my original lying position, laying on my side, covers slightly tucked under one arm, draped over the other, slightly stretched out arm. I was still unable to move. My eyes were still closed, and I was panicking. The tingling that coursed through me let me know that had I been able to move, I would without doubt be shaking in terror. I felt tears running down across the bridge of my nose and into my ear. But they weren't the hot, stinging tears you get when your heart hurts of sadness. It was strange and detached to the point where I felt I had no need to cry. But they didn't stop. I couldn't stop them from falling, no matter how hard I tried. With eyes still shut, I could see the same face of the same man re-emerging in the same way as before. His face resting close to my chest. His expression is as it was before my failed attempt to snap out of my dream. Calm and pleasant to some extent. He proceeded to start his mantra.
Long. 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 Long.
The same repetitive, empty, mechanical sound looped over and over.
Long.
It's scary. As I'm writing this, I feel that I have to rush and hurry. I feel like I am beginning to forget it all happening. That's why I started writing this all down. I feel I shouldn't forget whatever this was. Even now, I feel like writing this side note is contributing to me not finishing. Like I need to get off track in whomever's hope that I forget the main reason I started writing. I feel myself grasping now. Like when you want to say something, but the moment you open your mouth, the thought is just gone. I need to stop this, so I don't forget. If you're not a religious person, that's perfectly fine. But I was raised Christian, and this is not the first time I've had strange things similar to this happening. My mother always told me, if I ever felt so scared or helpless in these situations,
long,
to call upon the Lord and to pray.
long,
I do this when I can't wake up from a nightmare.
long,
I pray.
long,
In this case,
long,
I ask the Lord to protect those that lived in my house, that He keep us all safe.
long,
I ask that He shield me from this terror that I was feeling and to give me strength to move.
long,
I could still hear the man's loop of long while praying.
long,
At some point, I must have closed my not really open, so I don't know why you can still see eyes. Because all was dark, and I could no longer see the man's face, or the short distance down my body between the gap in the covers.
long,
I could still hear the man,
long,
but I continued to pray.
long,
Some might not care about the religious aspect, and I understand that.
long,
And so far,
long,
it's the only thing that has removed me from these happenings. I no longer heard the man. My body still hadn't moved. I slowly felt light enough to move. As I sat straight up, I was stiff, like in the old black and white Frankenstein or Dracula raising from their state of rest movies. It was strange. I have no clue what any of this could mean, or if it means anything at all. But I'm starting to think that perhaps this wasn't just a dream or a bout of sleep paralysis. Could that man be on an eternal loop? One that he has been in and will be in for a long time? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about this. Could Long be his name? I don't want to assume, but it's possible, seeing as he appeared to be that of Asian descent. I'm sounding stupid. I truly have no explanation for this. Well, it seems that this is all the book has for you this evening, my dear. But I invite you to please come back soon. I have a feeling the book has more to offer you. Have a good night.
long.